normal trend in the world is let's follow the crowds. Let's do what everybody else is doing. And when you see somebody doing things contrary to the crowd, we immediately criticize and condemn them. When we look at what happened in Luke chapter 5, when these men were bringing a paralytic to Jesus, it says in verse 19, and when they could not find how they might bring him in because of the crowd, they went up on the housetop and let him down with his bed through the tiling into the midst before Jesus. On account of the crowd, they could not bring the paralytic in the presence of Jesus. The crowd all entered through the normal door. The crowd all entered the normal way and sat as everyone else sat around Jesus. And on account of the crowd, it says, they could not bring him to Jesus in that normal way. And what did they do? They climbed up to the house rooftop and brought him down, or put him down through that tiles, through it. They opened it and put him down. They did not do what the crowds did. Normally we want to be crowd pleasers, right? We want to do what everybody else is doing. But I want to challenge you and tell you that it's not the crowds that drew Jesus' attention. It was people that did something different, something set apart, something unique that drew the attention of Jesus. When you look at that bleeding woman who bled for 12 years, there was a crowd thronging around Jesus. But not everybody touched Jesus' hem the way this woman touched. She did something different and went back blessed. You look at Zacchaeus, there was a crowd around Jesus. Not everybody did what Zacchaeus did. He ran ahead, climbed up that tree, and Jesus' attention fell on him. When you look at blind man Bartimaeus, there was a crowd around Jesus, but not everybody did what blind man Bartimaeus did. He yelled beyond his strength. He shouted out all the more and drew the attention of Jesus. This man who was paralytic, the men who carried him and brought him before Jesus, they did not do what the crowds did. And that's what we see happening there. You see, in Luke chapter 5 verse 19, it says, they could not find by what way they might bring him in because of the crowd. Because, you see that word because can also mean for the reason of the crowd, or for the sake of the crowd, or always. So when you look at the word always, that means always the crowd prevented. Always the crowd. Always the crowd. So we need to understand, because it comes from the word dia. That means because, or for the sake, or always the crowd. You see, for your blessings will always be prevented. Your blessings will always dia for the crowd, because of the crowd. So let's not be crowd pleasers. Let's not be crowd followers, but let us be people that run after Jesus, because the crowd will always stop you from receiving what God wants to give you.